My name is Mirjan Krstovic and I'm an instructional coach in the Peel District School Board. I'm going to tell you how we implemented social action projects with a group of grade 3 and 4 students in Mr. Jesko's class at Forest Avenue. We began the project by watching the Lorax, an animated film that raised various environmental concerns. After watching Lorax cartoon, students identified issues like air pollution, deforestation, invasive species, ground pollution, and others. Before learning more about various issues, students expressed their preconceived ideas by responding to several controversial statements. They had to agree or disagree with the statement and justify their position. Since these issues touch upon science, technology, society, and the environment, students created their own visual representations of these four important fields. As they walked through the classroom, students actively observed how their peers represented science, technology, society, and the environment. Students also learned how science, technology, society, and environment are related to each other. After learning a little bit more about what science, technology, society, and the environment are and how they're related, Mr. Jesko took his students to a nearby park to present them with a fictitious case. The fictitious case was about rezoning of the nearby park for residential use. The purpose of this was to teach students about stakeholders and their different perspectives in preparation for a town hall activity. In a town hall meeting, students represented different stakeholders and they debated the issue of rezoning the park.
Developers, we have plants and animals being represented, the children, community representatives, and the environmentalists who will be bringing their perspectives to the attention of the mayor and his or her council.
And for the children, we can make more concerts and festivals.
Yeah!
Yes, we are going to build buildings. We should at least make them eco-friendly.
After learning more about stakeholders and their perspectives, students were now ready to select their own STSE issue and begin their research. Students work in small groups to select an issue that is related to the human impact on the environment. They began by generating a list of questions that would guide their secondary research. Mr. Jesko and I guided students' research by circling questions that we thought were most important for students to answer. We also compiled a list of resources for all issues as a starting point for students' secondary research. We created a template to help students gather their research so they can answer their questions. After conducting secondary research, students were then guided into primary research by designing their own studies. To help students design their study, we shared some examples of questions that they can include. Students worked with their groups to come up with 3 to 4 questions that they can include on their survey.
Our survey told us at Forest Avenue, students think saving natural habitat is very important. Here are the results.
After gathering and analyzing their data and considering what they learned in their secondary research, students were ready now to propose actions. Not only did students propose actions to deal with their issues, they also developed and implemented their action plans.
We're littering a lot in our school, especially on days certain as Freeze Day. Everyone would leave their freezy plastics on the ground, wrappers. And then we saw on EcoSource, an online website, that we could do the school reduction campaign. And then we signed up for it because it was a pretty big problem at our school. And basically what it was is we took the little trash bags from the trash cans and the recycling cans, and then we sorted it to see how much trash they got into the recycling and recycling in the trash. And then at the end, when we did that with each class, we we saw who did it the best and who put the most garbage in garbage and recycling, and they were awarded a prize.
What was that prize?
The prize was a pizza party.
You did a pizza party.
How will our action create change? Our action is to create change, is to create a bubble hotel.
By engaging students in social action projects, we've empowered them and enabled them to be positive agents of change. Why should teachers engage their students in projects that require students to take action on different issues? Not just ground pollution, but there are many different issues in our world.
Well, first of all, helps our world because I was able to teach. I learned a lot of stuff about recycling and all that, and I was able to go and teach my parents and my family members about it.
Excellent.
So,
First of all, it's very, very, very fun, and it could really help the kids out with their grades, and the whole world is doing something fun, getting your grades higher, and helping out the world at the same time. It's like a perfect sandwich.
Did you do this project because of grades, or did you do it because you just cared?
I didn't know before. I sort of thought of the grades thing right now.
Okay.
At the beginning, I just did because it's interesting and fun.
Good. All right, Hayden, do you have anything to add? Why should we do these? Why should teachers engage their students in action projects?
So the environment gets more healthier and stays healthy.
By engaging students in activist work, they learn a valuable lesson that they do have agency and capacity to make this world a better place for all. I would like to thank the following people for their contribution to this project. Professor Larry Bentz, whose STEPWISE framework was used to implement social action projects. You can pause and scan the QR code below to visit Professor Bentz's research site and learn more about his pedagogical framework. Mirjan Krstovic, Professor Bentz's graduate student, who co-developed the town hall activity and helped to interview students. Special thanks to Anthony Edwards, Superintendent of Education, whose vision for empowering modern learners was the impetus for these projects. Many special thanks to Michelle East, the principal of Forest Avenue, who supported us every step of the way. And finally, special thanks to Chris Jasko and his grade 3 and 4 students, who were the real superheroes and agents of positive change.